I'm Michelle. I'm with the Wiley Senior Recreation Center, and today we're going to be making friendship bracelets. To make this, you're going to need something that will help you to draw a circle. I'm using a flower pot. You can also use a cup. You're going to need 7 strands of yarn. I'm using cotton yarn, and to get this length, I just use the length of my arm, and that's a great length. If you would like, you can use a ruler. You don't have to, you can just freehand it. And you'll also need a pair of scissors. So let's get started. I'm going to use my flower pot turned upside down on a piece of really stiff paper. You can also use cardboard. It's up to you, whatever you have. I'm going to take a pen and I'm going to draw a circle around my flower pot. And then I'm going to use my scissors and cut out my circle. Now that I have my circle cut, I've also tied a knot in the end of my yarn, tying all 7 strands together. Now I'm going to use my ruler to make lines across my circle. And I'm going to go right across the middle and divide my circle in half. Lay my ruler down so I can get my line nice and straight. And then I'm going to turn it and divide my circle in half again, going right across the middle, or close to. If it's not exactly the middle, it's okay. Then I'm going to divide each one of those quarters in half again. Once again, going through the middle. And then one more time, so that I'm going to have a total of 8 sections. Then where all my lines meet in the middle, I'm going to take my pen and poke a hole. You can also use your scissors. It's up to you, whichever tool you prefer. Then where my lines are, I'm going to make slits. I'll probably go about halfway to the center. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 more. 8. Very good. Now I'm going to take my yarn and I want my knot to be on bottom. So I'm going to take the end without the knot and put it up through my hole. I'm going to divide it in half and get all those strings poked through. You can use a pen or your scissors to help you get all those strands through that center hole. And then I'm going to pull it right on up. So your knot is hanging down with a little bit of a tail. You want that extra tail because that's going to help you tie it onto your wrist. So since I have 8 slots and 7 strands of yarn, I'm going to have one that is always open. So I'm going to put my yarn through the slits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now we're ready to start weaving. So I have this open slot below, and the easiest way to do it is to turn it so that the open slot is facing you. You're going to look at your string, and where the open slot is, you're going to count 1, 2 away. Then you're going to take that 3rd strand, pick it up, cross it over those 2, and put it into the empty slot. Then you're going to turn it so that your new empty slot is facing you, and do the same thing again. Count 1, 2, grab the third, move it to your empty slot, and put it in. Turn it so your empty slot's towards you. 1, 2, grab the third, move it over to the empty one. And you're just gonna keep doing that over and over and over. This is a fairly slow growing bracelet. So if it looks like at first that you're not doing anything, you are. It just doesn't look like it yet. And your top is gonna look kind of like that. You can kind of see how the strings are starting to cross a little bit. I'm gonna keep turning and keep moving my yarn into the empty slot. And you want to watch your strings on bottom because they will tangle a little bit. So every now and then you want to come through and kind of straighten those out and give your center one a little bit of a tug. That way your bracelet will grow down instead of up and around. When your bracelet is long enough to where it fits around your wrist, you can take it off of your disc. You're just gonna pull your strings out of their slots. And this is what it looks like underneath. And you're just gonna pull those all the way out. And you wanna tie a knot at the end to finish it off. That way, all your hard work doesn't come undone. And then you can tie it onto your wrist and trim your tails. And you have a fun and pretty friendship bracelet to wear or share with a friend.